continues south to another French settlement, Fort Caroline, established in 1564, just east of today's Jacksonville in Florida. This settlement predates Spanish settlement of St. Augustine.
Park, 46,000 acres, about the size of 2 Disney Worlds. And this, goes through the ecology, goes through the Timucuans who lived here for about, give or take 10,000 years. Then goes into the French, the story of Fort Caroline, how they came over here, and then a longer history of Jacksonville. We're a unique park in the sense that we have a story for like every era of American history. Name any war, Revolutionary War, Spanish-American War, Civil War. We have a story for that. Let alone some of the more localized, forgotten stories. Again, the Spanish-American War is one of them. We have ties with the Gullah Geechee Heritage Corridor as well. One of the communities, been there since 1870, just got recognition, and we work closely with them. But here, we can get you can get all that in the visitor center. Okay. And then if you actually hike through this breezeway right here down to the left, it'll lead you right to the Timucuan town.
This was a disputed land between Spain and France and later British. But French actually established this colony in 1564. French colonists came here, but immediately year after Spanish came because they claimed this land for their own, as their own for Spain. And Philip II of Spain, the king, sent the troops and they attacked this fort and they killed most of the settlers. Few escaped, and basically this ended the effort by French kingdom to expand their empire to southeastern United States, or at least this part of the coast. The French ships arrived in 1565. Everyone was so happy. There was a lot of food and goodies for everyone, but there was trouble in the air from the south. 70 colonists fled into the woods, and those survivors made back to France. Menendez went back with his armada to establish St. Augustine. The exact location of this fort, it's not known. This is not the original wall, but it's a replica of what it could have looked like. So this is typical kind of fortress that was built back in those days. And after Spanish captured it in 1565, French sought revenge and returned in 1568 and completely destroyed this place and killed everyone. Next year Spanish returned, they rebuilt it somewhat, but soon after they abandoned it and they never returned again. These wars from Europe and constant rivalry for dominance in the New World culminated in tragic events that happened here, and the truth is that in the end everyone lost, especially local Timucuan tribe that initially helped French settlers. This is a real canoe built by natives, so well preserved though. The next destination is a short ride to one of the largest missions in the region, San Juan del Puerto on Fort George Island. this is important site, Mission of San Juan del Porto. It was established in late 1500s by Franciscans, and it was destroyed by British in 1702 by Governor James Moore. He attempted to take over St. Augustine but failed, but in the process he destroyed all the missions north of St. Augustine. So the original name of Fort George Island was Alicamani. Later this island became San Juan, and it was destroyed by British 1702. In 1736 James Outdoor built a fort on this island. He named the island and fort St. George. There are no remains of the San Juan del Porto mission, but you can still visit Ribou's clubhouse. In the 1920s or roaring 20s, the Ribou's house was a vacation home for affluent families from Northeast, Boston, Baltimore, and New York area. You can imagine people had lots of good time here. So Spain claimed Florida in 1513 when Juan Ponce de Leon came ashore. So Gulf Stream was very helpful for sailing back in those days, to steer ships away from the coast towards Europe. Don't miss to visit the museum in the back of Ribou's clubhouse. The population of Timucuan people. They had approximately 500,000 people living in this region in the 15th century, and look at this steep decline when Europeans arrived. It's really sad and tragic what happened to Timucuan nation, but at least the language is documented by Francisco Pereira, who created a dictionary in the Timucuan language grammar. In the 1980s, state of Florida purchased this property, and now it's part of Talbot Island Park system, so we can all enjoy it. Don't miss an opportunity to camp in the Little Talbot Island State Park. It's a short walking distance from the beach. I can only imagine what Spanish, French and British explorers would have felt when they visited this place after a long voyage from Europe, which took about 2 to 3 weeks initially in the early 1500s. This place probably looks like paradise to them. Look at this place. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. Subscribe below to support this channel. If you enjoyed it, join me in the next phase of this journey. We're gonna visit Spain's stronghold in Florida. Also the oldest European settlement in North America, St. Augustine. I'll see you in the next one.